Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I wanted to come on and show you what I'm doing. I'm not really doing anything new today because I'm still working on that file folder. So I did want to show you, this is new. This is my new Digi Old Paper Volume 2, and so it's a lot like that first old paper kit that I did. It's just a little bit maybe more rustic, or I'm not sure what you'd want to call it, but anyway, I just wanted another one so we have some variety to back our pages with. And so I did use it in this journal today, even though you might think that the style wouldn't go with something like this. That's kind of why I wanted to show it to you. But I want to show you the pages first. This is a full page. You know, when you say fill the page on your printer, it'll print out like this. These ones have the border around them because they're the first ones I did right after we finished it. And so it prints from my son's computer, and it always has a border. So this is the first one, and so there's a picture of this gentleman on this one, and then you'll get one like this that doesn't have this picture. So I do both so that you have some variety, so you can have more of a plain page to do, put on the backs of your pages, or you know, you can also use these to collage or whatever. And there's another one. And these are old cigarette cards. I had my son remove, it said prize crop cigarettes underneath. I just had him remove the cigarettes just in case somebody didn't, you know, want that on their paper or whatever. But anyway, that one. And this one. So they kind of have a Western sort of a feel in a way to me, or I was kind of the whole naturalist, you know, journal kind of thing. This is out of an old 1800s book that I have. You can see the old tape and stuff on it. And this is that one that I showed you full page. And this one. So yeah, I just think these go great on the back of pages, like if you have a floral page and you print this on the back. It gives you journaling space, but then the paper's not just plain white on the back. And they're also, like I said, great for journaling or putting on the backs of tags or journaling cards. It's just a good way to, you know, get rid of the white space and that kind of thing. This is transparency paper that I printed an old letter on and then put it on there. This is some coffee stain paper, and you'll get a whole sheet of this paper with it. It's just coffee stain paper that I did. This is really cool because it's like a scanned image from, I think this was Library of Congress on this one. And it's all just crumpled and broken up paper, but it looks really cool. And like this one is that same one I showed you, full page, but it has the flowers. And this one is the one I showed you that has the sky, but it has the lace and the bee as well. So just some variety so that you can, you know, it doesn't look like the same page over and over again. This is the solid coffee stained page that you'll get. And this was done by putting a paper towel down. Let me see. This is the original. So I just did a coffee staining. I think this was actually tea staining. And when I put it on the paper towel, it dried like that. So that was kind of fun. So I went ahead and scanned that one. So there you have it. It's 15 pages, and it's on my Etsy now. And I'll show you some things I did with it. And then I will be doing something with this kit. But like I said, I'm just finishing up this. Got stuck on my tripod. I'm just finishing this up. So I'll show you in here. I haven't stitched these pages in yet, but I want to show you some of the things that I did. See, this is the back with the coffee stained page. So I have a printed page, and then this is the coffee stained page. Just so you don't have that white. If you don't like it, if you like the white, then, you know, no biggie. Let's see, where else did I do it? On this one, I did the coffee stain one again. I think I just backed some tags. Oh no, there's this one I did, this is a piece, just a piece of one of those, the old paper, sorry. So even though this doesn't exactly, you know, this isn't like Western, or it doesn't have that same feel as that whole kit, when you just use a piece of it, you can use it anywhere. And this is another piece. So I just tore it out. It's just good for journaling. And then, I don't know if I did any more. Oh, this one I covered with the sewing tissue entirely on the inside so you can write on it, so it's not white. And that's the other side of this one. So that's another piece of that same page from the old paper. Added a little piece of washi. And I think that's it, yeah. Because these are just back to that coffee stain one. So there's that. And then on the back of these cards, I also used the old paper. So I did a collage on this side and fabric, and then added the old paper on the back to journal on. There's the collage side, and then that's it. It just has the Saturday, and then it's basically plain other than that. This was an old journal. I found a few of the blank pages with just the days written on them. Those were kind of cool. They're little tiny pages though, so I couldn't do like just a whole page of those. And then I added another pocket. I need to make a journaling card for this one. I did this pocket, I just backed it with tissue, the sewing tissue. That was a library card. This pocket's stitched in, and this is all done. It just has to be put together now. So that part's done. And then I did some little like fabric, which I've done these before, but these ones go with this. So just little fabric clusters to like put on the sides of pages and stuff, so that we could put some of those on. And I did some bulb pins just with a little cluster of fabric and lace, and just you know, fabric all stacked up with a little piece of lace, and it's just stitched together to put on a corner of a page or whatever, and some little paper clips, and I just stitch them. So anyway, there's that. And I added one of the little bulb pins here, and I was gonna need to decorate this. And there's another one of the little paper clips right there. Oh, and I did finish this. I don't think I'm going to decorate in here. I kind of like it. Oh, I didn't do. I thought I had one more. Oh, I guess not. But I did this one. And it's backed with beet stained paper my sister did. And I don't want to make this envelope too thick by adding a lot of stuff. I might add like one of those little fabric things that I made to this. And then that's just a piece of Rachel at Roxy Creations, one of her Digis, and then some lined paper that's been coffee stained. So yes, I need to make another card for there. Thought I did all those, but this one's taking me a while. It's a lot of steps for some reason. More, it seems like more than the other ones I did. So anyway, I have this front, and I thought that would be kind of cool on this card. So I need to figure out how much of it I want. And I may use these pieces for something because they're kind of neat. So I hope everybody's having an awesome day and a good week so far. I don't know what's on there, so I'm just going to take this off. It's been kind of crazy. I'm starting to get the whole new school year anxiety thing. There's just a lot to do, and I feel like I can't get everything done I want to get done. That's probably part of the problem with this. Feeling like it's taking a while because I only have a little bit of time here and there to do it. So and next week we've got band camp, so kids are excited about that. I'm going to use some more of these, I think, just for the writing and stuff. Like, I think I just want a section of this, but I might want that on the back. Yeah, I think I'll do it on the back, actually. I'm going to rip it along here. I don't really want the blue necessarily on there. So I'll add, you know, something else along the edge. Let's see. I don't want this all the way up here. So we're going to just take, and then I'll cut around whatever's left hanging over. So yeah, I know lots of people are excited for everybody to go back to school, but I'm always the opposite, I guess. Alright, so let's get this glued on. Get a book page. So this isn't super exciting, but I just wanted to show you guys my new Digi, because I did put it on Etsy. And I needed to do a video today. I was hoping to be done with this. I worked on it for a while yesterday, but you know, things always take longer than you think they're going to, especially with this, because you remember all different things that you wanted to do for it. So I'm excited to do. I kind of have a plan in mind for the new Digi, and I want to do that. Oops. But yeah, it's good to know that, you know, you can use it for other things than when you first look at it. Like I said, it kind of has that Western feel, or you know, like a nature journal, or I don't know, something like that. So I wanted to show you that depending on the parts of it you're using, you could definitely use it for other things as well. This corner didn't get any that I could feel anyway. And I'll just trim whatever's hanging off. Oops. That's the thing with this Scotch Create, man, once it grabs, it's down. It's hard to get it to move. And I got that corner again, I missed. Oh, we're going to go with it, and I'll put something else there. Keep taking it up and putting it down. The heat has arrived here. It was, like I said, a pretty cool summer all the way around, and then bam, it has come with a vengeance. I'm just hoping it's not too hot for the kids next week. I think it's supposed to cool down a little. I did some tea staining this morning, so I'm interested to see how that comes out. I kind of do that same sort of thing that Medieval Mirage Jeff mentioned. If you've watched any of her videos, I'll link her. She's been doing coffee staining, and then Rachel's been doing it too, where you just kind of stack all the pages on top of each other, just because I don't have enough room to, like, or a good spot anyway, to lay a whole bunch of paper, like dip it and lay it out like a lot of people do. And sometimes in the winter I'll bake it in the oven, but other than that I really don't like baking it in the oven, because one, sometimes it gets too dark, I think, and also, unless that's, you know, the look you're going for, but it's just, you know, hard to get it dry that way, I feel like. Looks like there's already a coffee stain on here. I noticed there's some spatters of coffee or something on the cover of the journal. It's kind of funny. But yeah, that looks like coffee or something dripped on there. So I'm going to go ahead and use these, see? Instead of just throwing them away. I just add some interest with the tears in them and stuff. They look neat. So yeah, I put all kinds of doilies and lice and stuff to see what if I can get any neat designs. But yeah, I just kind of stack up all the papers and I pour tea on them as I go. So I put a little bit of tea down and then a layer of paper, and you know, like a doily or whatever, and just keep layering and layering, almost like you're making a lasagna or something. And stuff comes out neat because you get edges of paper on other papers, and I don't know, they just come out really cool. And it saves space. I could put this one up here. So it's definitely a good way to coffee stain if you don't have a lot of space to do it. And then you just let it dry. You just drain all the coffee or tea or whatever off, and then let it dry. I go through and flip them over and do stuff with them as they're drying so that you don't, you know, you want to prevent mold. And luckily it's pretty dry where I'm at. I know if you live in a really humid environment, you'd have to bake them or something so that they wouldn't mold, but we don't have a lot, you know, things dry pretty well here, so I don't have that problem, but I know a lot of places do. So you have to just kind of know your environment and then do it accordingly. And in the summer, obviously, you can put it outside and then you don't need to bake at all because it'll get dry in the sun. I had some questions about Kool-Aid dyeing, and I haven't done tons of that. I bought some from my friend Denise, and she also sent me some. And I don't think she's got any right now on her in her shop either. But essentially, if you get those little packets of Kool-Aid, and you know, without the sugar, you don't want the sugar, obviously. You're just looking for the dye, and you just get like some type of plastic bin, like maybe one of those plastic shoe boxes or something like that. And this is the way I do it anyway. I'm sure there's a million videos on that on YouTube, but and then I do the same sort of thing that I do with the coffee or tea staining. I just make up a batch, pour the little pouch of the dye into some water and mix it up, and you know, maybe start with like 3 cups of water or something like that to your little pouch of dye, and kind of go from there and see if it needs more water or less water. And I don't have like a specific set amount because, like I said, I've only done it like one time, and I just kind of poured it into the plastic bin, and if I thought it needed more or wasn't getting very dark, I just added more of the dye, basically. So, but I am going to try to play with that and see if I can come up with more of a, like a recipe for it or whatever. But just kind of play around with it until you get, you know, the color that you want. If you want it really pastel-y, then I would obviously add more water than the Kool-Aid, and if you want it a lot darker, then vice versa, you know. So that's essentially all you're doing. But it does dye very well. And I've tried food coloring too, doing the same thing. And the neat part about the food color is you can obviously mix the colors to any color you want. And so I did a Christmas journal, and I'll show it to you guys next time it's downstairs, or I would show it to you now. But I did some purple Kool-Aid dyed pages, and I did them light because I wanted a light, or not Kool-Aid dye, sorry, just food coloring. So you just mix that, just like you're doing Easter eggs, basically. You don't have, you can put vinegar in, and I've seen people do that, but I don't really think you have to do that. It might make the color set better though, so it might not be a bad idea. And just kind of do the same thing you would do for Easter eggs. Of course, then you might have vinegary smelling paper for a bit. I mean, it's not that much different than having coffee stain or smelling paper, I guess. Or the Kool-Aid for that matter, because it does give that sweet smell. I suppose that's better than vinegar. But yeah, those things all work well. Sorry, I can't get this cut straight today. Got the shakies. So I don't know a ton about Kool-Aid dyeing because I haven't done lots of it. It's kind of a mess. And I make big messes, but something about that dye makes me a little nervous. So this makes a good little journaling spot on the back there. And for some reason this wants to curl today. I don't normally have that problem with this Scotch Create, but maybe I just got a lot of it on there. I mean, once it dries it'll be flat, but it's wanting to curl up on me right now. Alright, so I need something down that other strip, and I don't know what. What about... I haven't used any antique papery in a bit, so let me see if I can find a little something that would go. I like that. That might work. Yeah, I like that piece because it's got these kind of brown sort of polka dots right there. And it's all different stuff together. Better than that, because I'll mess it up, and that's the only piece of that I have. All right. I've been looking like at the different libraries and things for images for sewing, and it's really just not out there. I don't know if I'm just clueless or something, but it's really hard to find anything, because I thought it would be fun to do a Digi for sewing, and I know a lot of it is like these images obviously are still under copyright, and so that's a problem, but I thought I might be able to find some like older fashion stuff. And I can't find it, so I don't know if it's just because, you know, a lot of these companies obviously are still around, and so their stuff, they keep their stuff, so you can't get it. And I've even tried doing like just public domain sewing and stuff, but it usually takes you to people's blogs and things. And sometimes it's hard to get a good image off of those. So if you guys know any place where you can get images like that, please let me know, because I think it would be super fun to do a Digi like that. But I noticed there aren't a whole lot of Digis, sewing type Digis. I guess if you could draw your own images, that would be one way to do it. I'm not sure. I mean, I can kind of draw, but I don't think I can do that. But that would be about pretty much the only way. There just isn't a lot of anything. I mean, every once in a while you can find some stuff on the 20s, like fashion type stuff, but not necessarily for sewing. Sorry, took time to do that. Just was gross. So you're not going to see a whole lot of that back there anyway, but I just wanted a little bit of variety. I kind of want like maybe a little fabric something somewhere. Oh, I guess I could add one of these type of things. Yeah, I can do something like that. That would be cute. Since I sat and made those last night. We're watching Bates Motel again. I don't know if any of you have watched that. It is insane. Like, I can't even, I don't understand. It seems like that guy gets away with everything, and I don't understand. It's like the timing's always just perfect or something. Let me know if you've watched it. It's just crazy. I was kind of behind on that. I'd known about it for a while, but I'm a big chicken, and I don't really like anything scary. And it is creepy. It's very creepy, but it's also just mind-boggling. like you can't stop watching, because it's just how is any of this possible? So I don't know. It's funny. See if that's the one I want for sure. Oh, I kind of like this one. It's a little bit thinner. Oh, I have to slide it in and out of that pocket. I forgot about that. So that probably isn't going to work. Could put one up at the top, but they're longer. I don't know, let me see. Forgot about this pocket part. Good thing I remembered it before I glued it on. And I will stitch around the edge, so. It's kind of a tight fit. Yeah, and there's already one up there, so I don't think I need to add any more to that. I'll stitch around it to add some stuff to it. And I think that will be good for that. We need to make the card that goes in there. I had one cut down. I do not know what I did with it. So I'll cut another one. That does look a little plain in there, but I just am worried, like I said, if I add too many things to the inside of those envelopes, I'm afraid they just are not going to close very well, and it'll make it really bulky in there. this piece. I found these images on Graphics Fairy. That, and I have a like a mannequin or dress form. And I found a few other like thimbles and things, but they didn't even have much for that, or at least that I could find. I don't have a premium membership though, so I'd love to, I just don't have one. So I'm sure maybe if you did, I'd be able to find more stuff. What do I want to use on there? What else? I can use more antique paperia. There's another little neat piece of that. Let's do... this piece over here, of course. There's that. Sorry, if I'd have thought of it or got to it, I would have inked these already, but wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. And forgot about this card entirely. Glad I looked in there. I would have done a flip through and been like, oh, it's not even done. If you buy this Scotch Create on Amazon, you can get it in 4 packs. I forgot I had to glue this one on first. But when you see the picture of it, they don't look like this. They're that more red Scotch type label, but if you put in Scotch Create Permanent, it'll come up and you can get the 4 pack of them, and that works pretty good. It's my clock. Does that every hour. If you can hear it. Got that one a little long. Okay, so now what do I want to put on this? Could use my dress form. I don't know if I have any more images of those ladies. That was the other thing. I was trying to find some, you know, things I could add to cards and stuff, because I did steal, oh, there's one. Steal some of these out of this, but again, hard to find stuff that you can use. A whole pile of junk here. That's kind of cool. See, I got this from Graphics Fairy, and what I did was I covered these with the sewing tissue. That's why they look like this. This one too was just the black and white, and I covered it with the sewing tissue paper just to make it match everything better. I felt like the black and white just really was too bright or something. I didn't like it. These are Gail Augustinelli's her trims that she's made into Digis. Those are super fun to play with. That's kind of cool. Okay. That one's cute too. Alright, let's see what we can come up with here. I don't know if I want more on that or not. I like how straight that edge is for starters. These are Rachel at Roxy Creations. These are her doilies. Kind of like the Rick Rack edge. But you can't see if I do that. Yeah, the 50s and 60s, that's hard to find stuff that you can use. I mean, makes sense, but yeah, I think I like something like that. It's a piece of that paper that I used. Oops, was I gonna go under here? Kind of just liked that little bit over the top of this. Ah, it's too crooked. Well, I'll just snip it over there. That's gonna come there. Yeah. And I will be stitching around this as well. But if you don't like stitching, then you definitely, you don't have to do that at all. I'll lift this at all again. I think I just want some of this on here. This is Gail Agostinelli's trims, and she has them on her Etsy. They're fun because you can use them and they don't add the bulk that you would get if you were using the real trim. And they work great. Add a little something. Alright, so I'm going to stitch around that one and stitch around the one the big one, and then I'll come back and show you. Bye-bye. Okay, hi, I'm back. So I forgot to do the back. So I did the back, but I didn't remember till after I stitched on this little piece of fabric here. So I just finished and went around the card after I backed it, and then I just added one single stitch there just so it is at least stitched down at the top. So, you know, the trials of the brain. So that is where we are for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I put the old paper, a piece of my old paper on the back there, and then just put a piece of antique paperia. That's what you can see some of this blue that was on there. So if you like that old paper Digi, please go visit my Etsy shop. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if you like my channel, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye now.